Hello, beautiful, and welcome. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to everybody and all of my Canadian friends. You recently had your Canada Day. Happy belated Canada Day. Hopefully, you are having a wonderful summer so far. I know summer is in full swing here in Orlando, Florida. So that is why, though, between 4th of July and summer, today I figured we'd do a lighter session since so many people are off and celebrating. And we talk about the hottest things that I have found that I'm absolutely loving right now as far as products for your home. And a lot of productivity and just efficiency stuff, which I love. So I'm so glad that you're here. In the comments, let me know who you are and where you're joining me from, as well as I asked a question. I asked, tell me in the comments, what is your favorite product that you use all the time? Like if you had to pick one thing in your life that everybody needs, what would that one be? I always love to hear what has made a huge difference in your life. All right, so really quickly in the comments, I wanted to say hi to Lynn. Hello, Lynn. And we've got Joyce, Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Great to see you. And Mary. Fantastic. Yes, Lynn says happy and safe July 4th. Yes, you too. So Melanie says my favorite product, could be this Kroger Ralph's store brand instant coffee, both regular and decaf. Ooh, yes, coffee is a good one. She says, I just looked around my place and thinking of what is a staple in my place. I already finished it this morning. I was looking around to see if I had any left. I have coffee that I have a bit of coffee, not too much each morning. And yes, I absolutely love my coffee. So that's a good one. Grandma C, hi, good to see you. Well, see, I can't see you. You can see me. Happy 4th, she says, everybody. And Rosella, good morning. But yeah, let me know, what is your favorite product that you use all the time let me know this in the comments. And today, like I said, we're going kind of lighthearted, but these are some things that I absolutely love. I use myself. And I highly recommend them to my friends and my family. And of course, you're included in my friends and family. Our Pathfinders are part of my family, right? So these are some of the things that I am absolutely loving right now. Joyce says, I was thinking I didn't have a favorite product, but Melanie reminded me. A donated Keurig coffee maker is much loved and used every day. Oh, right? Oh, that's wonderful. And it's great when something can be like passed on and used instead of just going to a landfill. So that's wonderful. Sandy says, happy 4th from Chicago. You too, Sandy. Ooh, Alexander is from Romania. He says detergent, right? That's a really good one. I like it. Really good. We do need that every day. And yeah, especially a really good detergent. I have a lot of allergies. So some of the scents and things that they put in them can be rough. So a good detergent is important. I like that one. Thank you. Okay, so let's just dive into some of my favorites. If you think of any other favorite things you have in your home or life, if this triggers any thoughts, then share them in the comments. Let everybody know what your favorite things are so they can get ideas of things that might help them with solve a problem or make life easier or just more fun. And I would love to hear that. So also, if you have any questions, feel free, ask in the comments. Like I said, these are things that I use myself and enjoy. So definitely ask questions because these are all pretty awesome stuff that has made a huge difference in my life. And also, if you did want to check any of these out, you can go to my Amazon store, and that's where the idea lists are. So I've got things grouped by categories, and there's the hottest things category. So you can go to SusannaK.live/Amazon-favorites-store. Amazon-favorites-store. This link is also in the description if you are on YouTube, LinkedIn, or on the Organizing Mindset podcast. All right, let's hop right in. Nancy says her recliner. I was just thinking I need a recliner. Like, it would be really nice to have a recliner. So, well, I would love to hear what kind of recliner you have because that is definitely something that's going on my birthday list and Christmas list this year because it would just be so nice. Love it, love it. All right. So, I will save my super favorite that I use the most, like on a daily basis. I'll save that for last. But I wanted to start off with this is a bathroom scale, or I don't keep it in my bathroom, I keep it in my bedroom. But this is a digital scale. And I have found that having a scale that tells me more than just what my weight is, and that also tracks the changes for me because my memory is not that good. And I don't want to keep a manual log of all my weights. But having a scale that keeps track for me and is easy to read now that my eyesight is not as good as it used to be, and is just nice, simple, and tells me a little bit more information is so handy. And this one actually has an app that goes with it, and you don't have to do all sorts of like witchcraft in order to get the app to connect to the scale, which is so fantastic. This is by Loftilla, and I've been using it for quite a while now and absolutely love it. I love that it's super easy to read the actual reading. Let me see if I can get it going without having to stand on it. I can't hold my pressure the same very well. There we go. But you can see, even on the video, you can see really well. It says fail because I picked it up before it could sync with the app or show me the weight for long. But those nice big and red, so that stands out really well against the background numbers, mean that even when I'm standing up and looking down, I can see the numbers, and the numbers stay on there for a little bit after I step off, which is helpful because if I'm not wearing my glasses, then I can actually put them on and lean over before it goes away. But it does have an app that goes with it, which I like that feature. I did not know if I would, but it has been fantastic. It's the Loftilla Plus app. There's not an extra charge for the app, which is important. I hate it when you buy something and then they want to charge you extra for the app. No, this app comes with it, and you can see that it will show. See, now you see how much I weigh right now. You'll see that it shows the basic data, shows your weight, your BMI, your body fat, and a bunch of different other measurements based on the scale. But also my favorite part is the tracking. And you can track by morning or evening because you weigh less in the morning than you do in the evening. So it's really nice to be able to see, okay, well, every morning, this is my weight. So I can compare, apples to apples. So this is my favorite health thing right now is this Loftilla scale. And I think it's on sale right now, actually, on Amazon. But if it's not still on sale at the moment, remember Prime Days are coming up on the 16th and 17th. So make sure to hop over to the store to do any shopping that you're thinking about on the 16th and 17th. If it's not on sale right now, it might be on sale then. But they've already started the pre-sales, which I really appreciate because now I can get all the things that I've wanted to get, but didn't want to splurge that much. So I'm keeping my eye on my favorite products. All right. So in the chat area, Joyce says, ooh, and this is one of the things that I've wanted to try. I'm glad to hear that it works. She says the Dawn dishwashing power spray works miracles. Thank you for telling me that. I was wondering if it was as good as it sounds. So now that you said that, I will definitely try that out. I was so curious. Awesome. And Nancy says that for her recliner, she has a Lazy Boy Love Seat recliner with cup holders, plugs for charging our phones, and a drawer in between us for stuff. We truly enjoy our chair time. Oh, that sounds so nice. I love that it's a love seat recliner. That's the one thing that I would miss is being able to sit next to Moose Pie, my husband. So that sounds wonderful. Okay, I might have to get a Lazy Boy. I'll check that one out. Okay, my next top thing. Now this I have had for so many years. I don't even know how many years, but I have used a Brother P-Touch label maker, maybe not the same one, but the same brand and style for, 18 years now. I started using it in 2006 when I first started organizing. So It's been about 18 years that I've used a Brother P-Touch, and I think I've only bought a new one time in that 18 years. I've had this one probably at least 10 years, possibly longer. And now they have a newer model out. So I put the newer model in the store, but this is fantastic. So I use the label maker, not just to label things like bins, but I will label sometimes the shelves within closets so that people can easily see, okay, like linen closets especially. This is where the pillowcases go. This is where the bath towels go. But I will also do things like label cords. So I'll wrap a label around the end of a cord. I was actually thinking, I'm surprised I don't have one right here to show you. But I will wrap that label around a cord that separates from the product. So that way, if it gets separated and I can't tell what it's for, the label will tell me. Because how many of you have that 1 or 20 cords that you're not quite sure what it goes to, so you're afraid to let go of the cord in case you figure out what product it goes to and you can't use the product? So labeling cords with a label maker, so helpful. But also just having a label maker means that it looks nicer. Everybody can read it very easily. There's no trying to read somebody's handwriting, and it just gives you that settled feeling. So I use my label maker all the time. And as an organizer, I was using it, 4 to 8 hours a day, almost every day of the week at one point, and it's still going. So fantastic. This is the Brother P-Touch, like I said. This exact model, they don't have on Amazon anymore because, like I said, I've had it at least 10 years. So I put the newer version of this that is very similar. And I'm sure it works just as good, if not better, because they've always been fantastic for the past 18 years that I've been using them. And then you just want to make sure to get some of the Brother label tape. Now, my tip about label makers, got 2 tips actually. 3 tips. I'm obsessed with label makers. My tips about label makers. With my Brother P-Touch, first off, I like to keep my batteries separate from the label maker when I'm not using it because I don't use it on a daily basis anymore. So I actually just have a little storage container with my tapes and my batteries right next to it, just so that way the batteries last a bit longer because, batteries sometimes when they sit in something, they'll drain a little bit. So the worst is when you want to make a label and your batteries are dead. So I always keep my batteries separate. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, for the labels, the label tape itself, that's what determines the color and the size of the label. So there are different types of tapes, and it'll say on there what size it is and what colors they are. So this one, for example, it says it's laminated clear, and it's black writing on clear tape. And it's a 12 millimeter, which is almost 1/2 inch. The other size that they have, that I think I have here, is a 9 millimeter. That's the 9 millimeter size. And this is a white background, black letters on white background, also laminated. I prefer to use ones that are laminated versus paper. They seem to last longer, and if you have to peel them up, they seem to peel up a lot better. And I will go back and forth between the 9 millimeter and 12 millimeter, depending on what thickness I really need. If I'm going to do 2 lines, which you can do with this, then I'll usually use the 12 millimeter. If I'm just doing 1 line, I will use the 9 millimeter. So you can see a little bit of a difference here as far as the thickness. And really, the only 2 colors that you need would be black on clear and black on white. So the size does not matter as much. If you're not sure about the size, start with the 12 millimeter because that will do everything that you need it to do. But black on clear and black on white, don't worry about getting all the different colors. They have things like silver and gold and pink and all of these different colors. Unless you have a specific project you're using them on, I say don't bother with all the different colors. If you don't have a specific use for it, just start with the basics. And the reason why I say both black on clear and black on white is because see, my batteries must have died, is because sometimes you will want to see what's behind it. So if you're putting a label on something like a light pink storage bin, it's nice for it to still be pink on everything except for the letters, right? Sometimes though, you might be putting a label on maybe a black container or dark wood or something like that. And if you're using a clear background, your letters will be hard to see. So that's when I would use the black on white. So those are the two different options that you have. And let me see. Yeah, my batteries died. I must have used this for a big project recently, but I can still tell you the last tip. So when you do a label, and this I have found to be true on all the major label makers that I've used and tried out, there's usually extra blank tape at the beginning and the end of each label. So it can create a lot of waste if you're doing a bunch of different labels, right? So what I like to do is, instead of using, they do have a feature where it will take out the blank space in between. But my preference is I just type out all the labels that I can that it will let me until it says it's full, one after another. And I just put a space in between. So I do socks, space, pants, space, shirts, space. And then I print out the whole long tape and I cut in between. And it just saves that space instead of doing each label individually or hitting print without going through the menu and finding that function. So it's just a like supply saver. So save you a little bit of money not having to replace your tapes as quickly. But there you go. If you want a label maker, that's actually probably one of the top like 3 or so questions that I get the most. I get, what is your favorite shredder? Which is in my Amazon store. I've got it saved there. What is your favorite scanner? I've got my photo scanner, the Epson photo scanner, and my Fujitsu ScanSnap paper scanner. Those are my favorites. And the third, these are not in order. The third common question is, what is your favorite label maker? Brother P-Touch. So, and I just get whatever the recent model is. So there you go. I would love to hear in the comments, tell me, do you use a label maker? And I would love to hear if you use one too. And if you have one that you love, feel free. If it's not a brother, that's fine. Let me know. I would love to hear it. Okay. So next we have, and this reminds me that coming up at the end of July, we will be doing our emergency medical folder challenge. And if you have the Spark Life Binder, then we will have some of the really good resources for the Spark Life Binder as well. And this is something that I am loving for either your Spark Life Binder or your emergency medical folder. This is one that I use for my fancy binders. I have my own version of this. So I have two because I want one that I can keep nice and neat and one that I can beat up because I'm not kind to my Spark Life Binder. I hide it in different places, beat it up a bit because it gets used. But this right here is by Forevermore. It's a Forevermore Portfolio. This is a brand new one, so you can see what it looks like. It does not scratch that easily, so I don't have to worry too much about my Spark Life Binder. But if I throw things like in and there's something sharp, then it will scratch a little bit because I'm not being careful with it. But this is perfect for using my Spark Life Binder in because I can put all the binder pages right in here, and I can add any additional like extra credit cards that I might need to grab in an emergency, health ID cards or copies of them. And I can just put all the different random stuff, you know, extra charger cables in the zipper pocket. And I have a place for notes. So having just a little notepad in the back is really handy, especially because sometimes I just want to add information somewhere in the Life Binder, but I'm in a hurry. So I can just jot it down here. It's with my Life Binder. And then when I get around to it, I can fix it up. Plus, if I have anything to update to put in the binder, I can just slide it in here until I get a chance. So this is the Forevermore Portfolio. It looks like it's really expensive, but it's not. You will be so surprised at the price of this when you hop on. This is also in the store, and this is listed in my favorite things list. There are different styles available, but this was my favorite. But this is perfect for your Spark Life binder. And the other binder system that I use when we're talking about the emergency medical folder and Spark Life binder, this is actually what I use for my emergency medical folder. This was so helpful when I was going through a lot of extra medical appointments and things like that. And this is in my store as well. But this is one, now both the Forevermore and the Kaii binders I got as a sample. I got this one quite a while ago from the company, and they were kind enough to send this for me to try out. Now, this one is one that I actually have had for quite a while, and I was not sure what to use it for. They wanted me to recommend it for the Rocketbook, for those Rocketbook pages, but I just felt like that this doesn't suit the Rocketbook pages as well. And then I realized this is so perfect for my emergency medical folder with my complex and chronic expansion because I had so much going on. But let me show you some of this, because this is my actual emergency folder. So in this pocket, and I won't show you precisely what they are, but that's where I keep all of my little prescription printouts from the pharmacy. There you go, pharmacy. I put them right in here. So that way, if a first responder or even when you go to the doctor and they ask all the medications you're on, I can just hand them the stack of them and they have all the information that they need. And I have some extra supplies in here. So I added, this is something that I added was the pocket folder. I also added a business card holder. So that way, as I have more business cards for different doctors and specialists, I can slide them in. I have dividers that I added in for the various types of things that I needed most frequently, like test results, events. I have an events log. Basically, this is all of the emergency medical folder templates plus the complex and chronic, which has a lot more of the specialized information, such as it has, I believe, the test results and daily, some daily tracking sheets and various things like that, that really you don't need unless you're dealing with something more complex. So that's why I had that. I also have, a whole binder here that I had specifically for one issue that we were dealing with that was very specialized. And I was able to slide in, whenever I have a doctor's appointment, I could just slide in all the papers that they gave me, the printouts at the end. So that way, later on, usually when I was sitting in the lobby waiting for the next doctor's appointment, I would pull them out, enter any information that I needed to enter, and I'd have that right there. But it's got this great zipper pocket. It has pockets in the back that can fit, like you can see, even as big as a binder. And it does have a little, like, what is it, stretchy elastic, elastic strap. It's got a large 3-ring holder. So this could be good for your Spark Life binder as well if you wanted it for your Spark Life binder. But since I don't carry my Spark Life binder around as much, I really like the nice looking one. But you could definitely use your Spark Life binder for this one. It also has this nice little, it's like a holder, so you can put it around your dividers and papers if you wanted to keep them flat so it opens up nicely and smoothly. But my goodness, this was such a stress saver when I was dealing with all of the medical issues, and I just kept using it after my diagnosis and after things settled down because it was just so easy. So I have my quick grab one for the emergency medical team in my kitchen. But then this one is the one that I still, to this day, take with me to the doctor. I could probably take out some of the old information that they don't need anymore, but I just have not gotten around to that. It even has a cute little, like, this is a Velcro. You can put something else there if you want, but it says, "Hello, my name is," and this is the one, by the way, by Kaii. I don't know, or Kaii, I say it wrong. Kaii. I don't think I told you who makes it. But I have my hand sanitizer hanging from the front, and it's got a huge front pocket that I can put notes and papers and things like that in. So I absolutely love this. It's got this magnetic closure in the front. So even when I'm having a bad day with my hands and they're not gripping very well, I can get it open and shut. Also, if you do have to travel with anything, then this has one of those bands that go across the arm of your suitcase, which is handy. I never travel with it, but if I needed to travel with something, then I could get another one of these actually. And a great strap with a protective poofy thing. I think that's the official term, the poofy thing. So this one's by Kaii. So for the emergency medical folder challenge that's coming up at the end of July, you can sign up for it anytime that you want to. It's already open for free registration. This is fantastic. If you do want all of your medical information for doctors and visits like that, or hospital, all in one place. When I was going back and forth to the hospital, to the emergency room more often, I actually kept a number of my comfort items and things that I would need for the hospital in this front pocket. So I had a warm pair of socks. I had a pair of headphones, my charger for my phone, just various things that I always like if I'm in the hospital. I had all those in this big front pocket. So if you need to go back and forth to the doctor and you have all of your paperwork, then this Kaii, super, super handy. And with the fabric, it's really easy to wipe off to keep it clean. Because, I mean, when you're going to hospitals and doctors and stuff, you want to make sure that you can keep it clean easily. So that's another one of my favorites right now for handling all the documentation and stuff like that. All right, so in the chat, I asked if you use a label maker, and Mary says, I do use a label maker. Yes, you're very organized with how you do things. I'm not surprised that you use a label maker, Mary. I love that. Wendy says, I love my brother label maker too, and I've had it for a long time. Right, they're so good, so good. Lynn says, my label maker is bread closing tabs on my computer cords. Hey, there is nothing wrong with that. I like it. I like it. All right. Well, we have covered a number of things so far, right? We talked about the label maker. We talked about the Forevermore Portfolio, which is great for your Spark Life binder, or if you have estate paperwork, or you just want something nice to carry different things that you use in it. This is great. It's very inexpensive for how great it looks, honestly. We talked about the Loftilla scale, where you can still see it even when you're standing up, and it can save the history of all of your weights. This is one of my newer items that I started using that I'm really enjoying because it's by Depow, D-E-P-O-W. It's simply an extension cord and surge protector, but I really liked how many plugs they have in a small area, because I don't really want those massive extension cords with the really thick, heavy cord that goes to the wall that now takes up so much space because it sticks out of the wall. So the reason I'm really liking this one, for one, you can mount it to the wall if you wanted to, but I love how thin this plug is. So it can go behind my couch so easily. And the cord is one of those fabric wrapped cords, and it's a flat cord. So it does not take up as much space. I have replaced a lot of, not all of them yet, but I've replaced a lot of my big chunky surge protector cords with this because it's just so much easier. Plus it has 2 USB charging ports and 2 USB-C charging ports. These are the ones that are more like what would go to like your Android phone or your, if you use a Mac computer, things like that. And then USB are the standard old USB ones, which we still have plenty of things. And then it has 8 different plugs. So this is just a super handy extension surge protector cord box thing. I'm so technical. And it's just really handy. So it's up to you if you wanted to replace cords with it. But if you're looking to get a new extension cord, then this one I highly recommend for sure, because it has just, and it's very lightweight also. That's another thing. It's not super heavy and clunky like a lot of them, and it has these rubber feet. So if you do have it on the floor, it does not move around as much. It will some, but not as much as those ones without the feet. All right, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think I've shared 5 things so far with you that I really love, right? These other ones are super quick. You have heard me talk about my friction pens and my Rocketbook, right? One of my things that I use every single day by Rocketbook are the Rocketbook. They're like index cards. They might call them note cards. I can't remember exactly what they call them, but they're index card sized. So what, like 2 by 4, 2 by 3, something like that. I've never measured them, but these are by Rocketbook, and they are simply double-sided. One side is lined, one side is dotted, and they are basically index cards that you can easily wipe off when you're done. And they work with the friction pens that I've told you about. So the way that I use these, there's a number of ways, but some of the top ways that I use these for productivity, I will often, I probably even have some here, I will often write my top 3 things for the day that I need to do on one of these cards. So that way, instead of looking at my whole to-do list for the day, I'm just looking at the top 3. And that's what I really focus on getting done first. Because if I can get those 3 done, then I feel like the day is a super success. And then I fill in anything else that I might have to do. So I use that for that. I also use it often for planning. So if I'm planning a project, or if I'm planning a webinar, things like that, then I can write down the various different thoughts and I can reorganize them, move them around. Fantastic for that. I also sometimes just use them for shopping lists because I can take it with me to the store and then come back and just wipe it off. But I use these multiple times a day. And I told you that with the Rocketbook, right, these are ones that you can wipe off. So you just take, water, plain water, which I don't have any right here, but I might have some. Do I have one? No, I was showing it the other day, so I think that I forgot to put it back in. But you can just take a wet cloth, like damp, and wipe the ink right off, and it's clean, and you can use it again and again and again and again. You can also use, on the end of the friction pens, this is the other thing I wanted to tell you. If you've not used a friction pen, these are awesome. At the end of the friction pens, they have somewhat of an eraser. It's basically like a rubber thing that, unlike an eraser, you don't get the eraser boogers, the little bits that are left afterwards, because it just uses friction, the heat of friction. And you can even erase these. So let me hide that. So with these cards, you can erase them with the eraser if you need to. I don't know if you can see that too well, but now that whole section is gone. I usually like to just rub on it afterwards to make sure that it's just nice and clean and flat. So you can erase it with the friction pens. Easiest and best is to just wipe it off with a damp cloth, and then it all comes off super fast, super easy, and you can reuse it again and again and again. I've had these since they first released them. I'm guessing it's about 2 years ago. I could be wrong. But whenever it was that these first came out, I instantly bought them, and I still have the same pack, and I absolutely love them. So Rocketbook, index cards, and friction pens. Now, with Rocketbook, you need to use the friction pens because these are the ones that will actually erase and wipe off, right? But the friction pens can be used for more than just Rocketbook. They have pens, they have markers, they have highlighters. But when you use, and they have different styles of the barrels now. They'll have special editions sometimes, but a friction pen, I'll do a big R for Rocketbook. You can use it on regular paper as well. I almost only use friction pens now, unless I'm writing a check or something. And then, it helps if I'm looking. You can erase. It's easier to erase than I'm making it look because I'm trying to do this holding up and looking sideways. But you can erase it. And unlike the erasable pens in like the 90s that used to get ink all over you, they're like, it does not come off. Like there's no ink that gets on your hand. There's no smearing on your paper. And it just erases so nicely and easily. So you can write in pen, but have the benefit of being able to erase like it's pencil. So friction pens, they have, like I said, they've got markers, they have highlighters, they have different types, different colors of pens. But this way you can even highlight things in a book or on your notes. And then once you're done with it, you can erase your highlighted bit. And there you go. And I will say you probably would not want to highlight in a book that's not yours because there are some times, depending on how long it's on there, depending on the paper type, it might leave a super, super tiny trace of the highlighter. So you wouldn't want to return a book to somebody and have just like slight ghosting from the highlighters. Not all of them will ghost, but in case it is a paper that does not completely come out, just a warning. But I still use my Rocketbook, my Friction by Pilot, Friction highlighters almost exclusively. And I use my Friction pens 99% of the time, I'd say, unless I'm mailing something or writing a check. I'm using my Friction pens. So those are a couple more items that I am just in love with right now. And Rocketbook usually does have sales in the summer around the same time as Prime Days. Plus, they're sold on Amazon as well. So keep an eye out if you do see a sale on Rocketbook. They have the full-size notebooks as well. They've got the travel notebooks. They've got the mini notebooks. They've got a bunch of other things. But if you see them on sale, grab them while they're on sale because, they're just super useful. All right. So we've covered a number of things, but now I think it's down to my last favorite thing. So before I go to my last favorite thing, I would love to see what you've said in the chat area. Remember, I asked you what your favorite thing is in your home. And I also asked if you have a label maker and you use a label maker. Bonnie says, the other day I opened a package with 2 similar extension cords that had been given to me just when I needed them. Oh, that's awesome. Similar to the DePau. I love how these have gotten so much smaller and easier to use now. I remember when there wasn't a choice. If you needed a surge protector or extension cord like that, they were just going to be a huge long strip with like four options. They're so much better now. Melanie says, what's the name of the surge protector again? So DePow, DEPOW. And make sure they have both just extensions and they have ones with surge protection. So just make sure that you're reading in the product, it says whether it's a surge protector or just an extension. So if you want the surge protector option, make sure that you're picking the one that says surge protector. But DePau, and I believe they have a sale going on right now or for Prime Days as of when I'm talking, but I don't remember for sure. So if they do, then make sure to grab it while they're on sale. I love the sales. Nancy says, I like friction pens for working logic puzzles on paper. Oh, I love logic puzzles, and that's what I use mine for a lot too. She says, I use friction for the answers I know, and I use pencils for answers that I'm not totally sure of, both erased but separately. That's so smart. I never thought of doing both the friction and the pencil on my logic puzzles. I always have to like make little symbols of what I know for sure and what I'm not sure of. Oh, I'm going to try that, Nancy. Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, I love it. Thank you. This is why I love it when you all share your thoughts and ideas because you give me some great ideas too. It's awesome. Okay, so this is my last one, and this is something that I started using a couple months ago. And for me, this has been like a daily use lifesaver. I've always got it near me. And I'm showing my age, but it's a hand fan. But it's not just any hand fan. And the brand itself is actually called Hand Fan. So the brand name, not creative, but very descriptive, Hand Fan. And these are in my Amazon store. If you go to that store link, they're in my hot products that I'm loving right now. I use this multiple times a day. It turns out I'm on some kind of medications that make it harder for me to regulate my body temperature, it turns out. And I live in Orlando, Florida, where yesterday with the humidity, it felt like 106 degrees. So this is so handy. I keep it next to me wherever I'm at. I bring it with me in the car. It fits in my purse because it can fold down. So I'll throw it in my purse because just getting from the house to the car might kill me, I swear. But I'll, sometimes just be sitting down, and thanks to my medications, it's like I'm going through menopause all over again. Sudden hot flash. And I'll pull this out, and there are so many things about this that I love. And this is actually very different from any other hand fan I've seen before, because instead of having to put normal batteries in it or having to charge the fan itself and make sure that it's charged, check this out. Squeeze the buttons and pull. This has its own battery pack, which means because it has the USB connector, I can also use this battery pack if I need to charge my phone. So if my phone is low and I have my hand fan with me, then I also always have a battery pack. And this battery pack has lasted a really long time because, like I said, I use it pretty much daily. And I think I've only charged it once when I first got it. But it takes a USB-C to charge it, but it has a USB connector to plug things in. So you can plug in your phone or some other small USB type of electronics. Sometimes I'll do it with my video light and power that just like you would with any other type of portable power bank that you might have. So I am loving this. And, worst case scenario, if I don't have the power bank, but I do have a place to plug in a USB, I could also plug my, which way is it? Plug my hand fan in to a regular USB charging port too, and use it that way if I really had to. So this has been, like I said, my best friend every day, right next to me, companion. Not only is it super handy that it has the power bank, which also means it lasts forever just using it on the fan. If you're just using it on low, I think they said up to 20 hours of continuous use with one charge of your power bank. But I love, sometimes I will, sometimes I'll just do this right down my shirt, but sometimes I'll put it next to me, especially if I'm on a video and just dying of heat. So if you ever hear a very slight fan in the background, that's why, because you can use it as your own base. It can hang. So this can move however you want. And it's really quiet. It has 3 speeds, but I don't know if you can hear it too well. Let me know if you can hear that, because to me, it's like a super soft, not annoying sound. It's actually a very gentle, calming sound. So that's on low. And then this is medium. And this is high. So this one, even from all the way back here, is blowing my hair. And my hair's been sprayed all the heck. So that's pretty impressive with it even getting my hair. But it never gets really loud. So this is something that you could use on low in church. If you just have it on low, then nobody would really notice that you're in church or at the movie theater. On high, they might notice, just the people right near you. But on the lower speeds, I don't think they'd even notice. Let's see. So Mary says that she heard them. Okay, yeah. So you heard that just gentle hum, right? And it's only really noticeable. It's slightly noticeable on the medium speed, and on the high speed, it is noticeable, but not irritating. But the low speed, I hear it, and the people right next to me might hear it a little bit, but it's very gentle, and I don't think people further away would really hear it. Oh yeah, Mary says, when they killed my thyroid, I had hot flashes again. Ugh, that hand fan would have been great. Right? You don't realize how great a hand fan is until you get one. And you're like, my goodness, what have I ever done before without this? Oh, and the label maker, Melody says, yes, I have a label maker, but I don't use it as much as I'd like due to time constraints. Absolutely. And what, usually when I'm organizing, the first thing I do is I will hand write labels on like painter's tape and put them on things, because a lot of times I like to move things around. As I start using things, I might be, okay, that's not as convenient there, so I'm going to switch this. And then once I've settled on everything, that's when I'll do my labels, because if I was to label everything immediately, it would take forever. And sometimes when I'm busy, I might not label it for a really long time. But that's awesome. Yeah, it's nice to have one for whenever you need it. And yes, Jeannie says, yes, I use a Brother label maker. Yay. You guys are so smart. You know the good stuff. Well, all right. Well, that's it. I just wanted to be fun, lighthearted, share some of the hot stuff that I've found lately, things that have made my life so much better. And I hope that you enjoy them for yourself. If there are any that you feel that you would need, want, etc. And I just felt this was a good time since Prime Days is coming up July 16th and 17th. So right now they're already listing things on sale. There's a bunch of good sales. And then through the 17th, I don't know if they do sales afterwards. Maybe, I don't know. But definitely now is the time where if there's anything you're stocking, stock it now for sure. Because I stock products sometimes, things that I really want. But other than that, I hope that you have an amazing and safe 4th of July, this Independence Day, and we all just get to take a moment, be grateful for all of the great things that we have because of where we live and what everybody has sacrificed. All the service people have sacrificed for us, including, our daily service people too. They sacrifice as well. Our firemen, our police, our nurses, our paramedics, all of those, every service person that helps us be safe and stay healthy and protected. I'm very thankful, and thankful for being in a safe, wonderful place with you. And I hope that you are enjoying your day as well, whether you're here in the United States or you're somewhere else. Let me tell you, Canada, England, been those places many, many times, also amazing. So many blessings wherever you're at. So have an amazing day. Check out the link if you wanted to see any of these things and find out more about them in the description. And I will see you later. Bye, beautiful. Keep on going. You can do this one small step at a time. And I love you. Oh, and Pathfinders, remember there's no live today so that you have a day off for 4th of July. Melanie says, going shopping on Amazon now, surge protector and hand fan, maybe friction pens. Oh, I love it. I love it. Wonderful. Yes, you will love this hand fan, is to die for. I love you. See you later. Bye, beautiful.